What's up everyone, this is MrCertifiedHigh here. We are back playing a little Sims 4. We are doing a speed build video. Now mind you, this speed build video was actually not supposed to be recorded. That's why we kind of started when, most of the build was already put together in the outside at least. I was doing this for an off-camera family that I'm playing with, not on stream or on YouTube or anything. And so I decided, once I started building it, I wanted to showcase that I can do something other than a modern house, And so I felt like this was a good example of it. Not the best example. I think there is still some flaws. I'm still working on how to get better roofing. I think that's like my main, or I'm having a lot of struggles with building, is kind of roofing better. And I've watched a bunch of tutorials. I've used some of those techniques in this one, but I think you can see up there like what I use to make, because a lot of roofs, they don't have, it's almost like people have second floor rooms, that have no flooring. It's just high ceilings that create a second roof in some respects. But this house, I was actually basing it off of a specific house I looked on a floor plan for. It was based loosely on it. It's not like heavily based on it. And that house did actually have a second story, but it wasn't where you'd think it was. It was actually over this long stretch, which is right kind of by where I'm building right now, right in front of that garden. It's above there and to the very front of the build, and it's not a big room. It's literally just like the front of it. And also on the front of it is a garage. And I think that's kind of the hard thing with The Sims 4 to kind of do. Even if they added cars and put a whole aspect of garages, the fact that you can't, or at least I haven't been able to at least, put half of the house or a part of the house not on a foundation, it makes it difficult to build anything simulating it. Now I knew I could have lifted up the driveway, and that's probably what I should have done, but I figured since it's not going to be a garage anyways, I'm not going to go through all that hassle to do that. So this is more of a farmhouse style, kind of an old house, slightly and very loosely based off an old house I used to live in, and then another old house that my grandparents used to live in. Both farmhouses. We both lived on farms for a brief time in my life. So this is both kind of loosely based off that. Another thing kind of about The Sims is the farmhouses always kind of look weird when they put them in any setting in The Sims, because there isn't like a farm, maybe Windenburg out in the country, but I just didn't feel like that this is where I wanted this build. I build it in Newcrest right now, but I actually do move it to Willow Creek, the lot that's in the very left of the map, or the very top of the map. It's the 40 by 30 lot that's next to the 50 by 50 lot. So right now I'm doing the chimney. I actually really in a lot of my recent builds, I've really liked doing chimney work. I think it does add another layer to the house. Now I have yet to perfect this part of it, which is putting the chimney inside and how to actually make it look good like that. I hate having rooms that are just nothing, and maybe I'll get over that, and that's just, it should be the way to go, is just to wall it off and act like that's not even there. But I've seen other people do it this way, where they cut out the actual area for the chimney and put the chimney inside, put the fireplace inside, not the chimney, but put the fireplace inside the chimney, which I really like the idea of. I don't know if in practice I've done it well yet, but you gotta take what you can. And then matching the brick was even harder, because what chimney would have a red brick on the outside and then white brick on the inside? Doesn't really make sense. I think obviously again with The Sims you kind of got to be some leeway here going into it. So like I said though, this is a pretty nice build. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I think this is the build, or maybe my next build video that I'm gonna have, I believe it's this one, where I kind of get on camera. I was just kind of getting lazy decorating and whatnot, and I actually got off camera and then was just being done with it. I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine. And then I go back and actually build it, or not build it, but I decorate it. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. So this video, the pictures might look a little different from where the video ends, but for the most part, you get the general idea of the build. So over in this wing, what I'm doing is this is the master bedroom with a huge walk-in closet, a bathroom, and then that little right room with the white tiles is going to be our laundry room. And so with the bathrooms, the thing I'm still working on, oops, there's ESPN going off, but the thing I'm still working on is trying to create, well, the interior decorating of different build styles. So I feel like I have modern kind of not down. I mean, it's not perfect at it by any means, but you know, I'm pretty good at building a modern build. I feel like I'm very comfortable doing it. And there I was just checking to make sure what it looked like in the gallery, because I've noticed recently I really hate a lot of how my gallery thumbnails come out. And I even tried to do the Sims tray importer thing, but then it marks as custom content. I don't really want to do that, even though maybe once like I get like I don't even know if I want to say that, but like once more, if I get more of a following or something and people start following more and they just check out my builds regardless, then I might, you know, do the tray importer. So I was actually trying to change the color and see what it looked like. And honestly, that blue and white I didn't hate, but then I was like, you know what, I kind of want to use this blue somewhere else in another build. So I don't think I'm gonna use it, put it right there. And I decided I do change up the roofing, but for the most part I was like, you know what, the build that's based off is white. I like that as white. White looks good on most farmhouses are white. Not all, but a lot of them are. I feel like every farmhouse I've seen, it seems like is a white or maybe like a cream yellow, sort of white. But you know, still doing that. Anyways, what was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, decorating the inside and really anything about the house. Like first off, I don't know too many farmhouses with a pool, but again, we had a big yard and you can't put farmland. I mean, you can, but I didn't really want to do that for this lot. So I just decided to go with the pool. But anyways, decorating the inside. I feel like I'm pretty good at modern builds because I can decorate the outside and the inside, and they match. You know, a modern build, modern inside, modern exterior. I'm decent at doing that. When it comes to these type of builds, more farmhousey or just really any other build that's not modern, which is something I'll find out. Well, you'll see in my next build video. I am terrible at it. I am horrible at decorating the inside of these houses because I don't know if it's because like my personality is more of like a minimalist style of like decorating, and I don't have a lot of decorations in my apartment. I don't have a lot of stuff. So I think it's partially that, but I also think it's a lot harder to find out what's good unless you play The Sims every day, which I play it every day. But I mean, if you're a full-time YouTuber or a Twitch streamer and playing The Sims all the time, you might be able to know, you know, and even then I still watch videos and they still find, you know, new wallpapers that they've never seen. But I think for the most part, you know, they would know, oh, this is the pack I'm looking for to get this type of wallpaper to match this type of build. That's where I need to work on, and that's definitely what I'm trying to work on. And doing more builds that aren't so modern will help that. So again, we're just doing the outside here. I really like how the brick looked against the white. I thought I would hate it, but I actually really did like it. This upstairs part, again, was kind of what I was talking about. You could feasibly put a staircase in there. I just didn't want to do that. I don't want to have to layout. I really like the layout of the inside, and then I put the second level on top just because I wanted that roof detail. I didn't want a second level in reality of it. So I figured, I mean, if you really wanted to, you absolutely could go in there and it'd be really easy to make a second floor out of this and give this place a second floor. I just didn't want to and I just use it as an attic. I think I put the Christmas tree up there and the decorating box for seasons up there. But you know, you could use it, and I think if, again, like I was saying, you know, I was kind of getting impatient with this build. I think mainly because it was so frustrating because, you know, I'm not super good at these type of builds. It was a little frustrating to get everything I wanted right because I am in some ways a perfectionist, and in some ways I'll say that I really want to be right. I want myself to be right, and then I want things that I create to be perfect. So I'll always see the flaw, I think. And that's just something I have to kind of deal with. But here I kind of imagine, since farmhouses are mostly old, and this one is more designed as an older farmhouse, that this is actually probably they updated the kitchen. You know, a lot of people are updating kitchens, it seems like it's probably the easiest thing to update. I don't know if it's easiest, maybe not easiest, but one of the, you know, things that are so commonly upgraded, because I don't know actually why. I mean, but I feel like we upgraded our kitchen when we were living in our farmhouse. Like my grandparents upgraded in their farmhouse. My uncle and aunt upgraded in their farmhouse. So really a lot of people are getting like upgraded kitchens that don't really match the rest of the house. And I kind of felt like that was the case with this one. And kind of going back to decorating the inside. Oh, by the way, I got a lot of custom content. So you see me, I'm not, in this video, I was actually kind of slightly playing around. Because again, I really wasn't planning on using this as a video. But I decided, you know what, I like it showing just a different style of video of things I can make. So, but as I was saying though, interior decorating is something I really want to work on in The Sims. Because I just use this like white wall pretty much everywhere. And it's very realistic. Like if you think about most houses, they don't change wallpaper all that much. Like they really do stick to one wallpaper. You maybe in some of these nicer, newer, very fancy houses, they might have like a wall that is like a feature wall, kind of like that brick. But for the most part, they're not having different wallpapers. They're not putting, even in the bathroom, the wallpaper is still the same. It's not like they have an all tile bathroom. And I think sometimes Sims builders, they build these extravagant, extremely beautiful houses that sometimes lack that realism of that. And again, I think where my perfectionist ideals come in is like, I'm like, oh, that's just not realistic. Like this house nobody would like go through this effort, for a house that's only like $80,000. Like if you're building a mega mansion, sure, that makes sense, I would say, because those people obviously have the money and they're spending a lot of money. But in a farmhouse like this is supposed to be, or most just regular suburban house builds, honestly, they're probably using a lot of the same wallpapers and a lot of the same floorings, like regardless of the rooms, which you don't see in The Sims that much. But I think, again, having that luxury, I think a lot of people like that. I like it. I think that's what I don't like about my build is I don't do that very well. But so I like it. I don't know how I got on this rant. I literally started ranting about, not even a rant, just, again, more custom content here. Just talking, I guess, about, what I'm thinking in The Sims, really. So, backing it up, here I was going to use that tiny room as a dining room. That was the original plan by building that room. If you wanted to build a second floor, that would be the room I'd wipe out. Because I actually never planned on this house having a study. And if you just put the study upstairs, you would have more room for the staircase, and you have, the ability to put the study upstairs. So that would be the option I'd probably do if you really want to do that, and then move the dining table down, a little down where that room goes, probably by the stairs, where you're going to put the stairs, wherever you put the stairs. And that idea just hit me, so I might have actually done that had I thought of that when I was building. I didn't though, so this is what we're going to go with in our build. And I'm just putting curtains. It's something I've missed in a lot of builds, so I feel like, I really thought about it in this one that I wanted to put curtains in a lot of different places. And that's kind of what I was talking about like there, obviously, unless those bathrooms were recently renovated along with the kitchen, it just didn't make sense that you'd have those bathrooms, those colors. Obviously, I kept them just because, like I said, in The Sims, I think it's almost a necessary. It's almost a necessity in The Sims to have different rooms look different. I think it looks better on the gallery. I think it looks better to the general eye of like photos and videos. And this is where I was trying to really decide on what looked good on the gallery. Kind of going off, maybe not the best way to build, but just seeing, is this going to look good on the gallery? Like, do I need to change this color because it doesn't look good on the gallery? I'm pretty happy with how it turned out though, so whether it looks good on the gallery or not, I know it's a pretty good house. It's definitely useful. It's a useful house. And like I said, you have space to expand if you're playing, rags to riches, and this is just one of the houses and the steps that you're going to take. So, I don't even know if I mentioned bedrooms. It's a 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I think one of the bedroom or 2 of the bedrooms share the bathroom. Not yet, because that's very typical. A 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, and it has this big great room, which is like the living room. This again was actually the garage in the build that it's kind of based off of. Since we didn't have a garage, I figured I'm just gonna make it the living room. It's pretty big for a living room. I just didn't know what to do without the rest of the space. Another thing I could have done would have been put an extra bedroom upstairs and a bathroom upstairs. Turn this room half into a study, half into a living room. That would have cut the space in half. Again, I just thought of that. Don't know why I didn't think of that back when I was filming this and doing this build. But that would also be another good idea that could have, you know, if you want to implement in your build, if you don't download this and kind of edit it to the way you like it, then that might be the way to go for you. But yeah, I was kind of going back and forth. Like I said, and kind of like I'm sure if you've watched some of my videos or even just watching this one for the first time, I jump around a lot. My brain goes 1,000 miles a minute. 1,000 miles a second, probably. That's probably how fast it goes. But I jump around a lot. My brain just thinks all the time. So it's kind of my build style. I know good video style would probably be go one room at a time, finish that room, move on to the next one. I'll work on that, and that's what I'm trying to work on. I feel like in later builds this week, I'm getting a little bit better at that. But for the most part, you know, it's definitely something I acknowledge I need to work on. Absolutely. Just because I think it's hard to follow sometimes. Like right now, we're jumped outside when we haven't even finished the inside. I mean, granted, we did most of the outside before we did any inside. So I don't know which way did I jump, forward or backwards, who knows. And again, I put that tree there, again, as a gallery accessory, you know, kind of take away that's just a house. Because for some reason, if you just put a house on a blank lot, even if it's like the nicest house in the world, I don't know, just in the gallery, it always looks bare and looks plain. It doesn't look as good as it could be. But yeah, here we go, just putting, you know, the couch. Again, I was trying to fit this is where my theming that I was talking about earlier comes into play. Those couches and chairs fit the house of the theme, but they just don't fit like the vibe of feel like of the rest of the house. Like it's a very bright house to be such an old house that like it's supposed to be. It's super bright, like the white wallpapers, the lighting in general makes it really bright. But I think in The Sims that looks good. But if I wanted it more realistic in aspects of what this house would look like in real life, it would probably be more of a darker lit house because the lighting's old. I don't think the walls would be white unless, again, they were remodeled, in which case they'd probably remodel a lot of the house. So maybe it's a remodeled farmhouse. Maybe that's what I'll call a video, remodeled farmhouse build. But yeah, we're just kind of mixing and matching. I don't remember if I actually use these chairs in the end, these seasons chairs, I think they are. But, because I like them, but I just struggle. I think once I look at builds after, I like them in the moment. I like things in the moment. And then once I look at them after when I'm filming, it's like, oh, nope, that was a horrible decision and I shouldn't have done that. And like I said, this room in general was just so big. It was kind of hard it's really an all-purpose room. And maybe you could like make a toddler corner or something like that. But for what I was building it for, it just didn't make sense to do a lot of different things with that room other than just maybe put like the TV and the fireplace and then maybe a chess table or two or a bookshelf. But yeah, like I said, it's just obviously things we got to work on. I never knew you could do this with the shelves. I just never checked these swatches out, that there was like specific swatches to different things. Yeah, here I go. And this is actually a separate day. This is when I was talking about earlier how I kind of got bored on camera and then decided, you know what, I'm going to take a break. And I came back and I was actually doing a lot in between this build. And so then I was like, oh, I gotta film this. I'm like, now I'm really cooking here. Like I have an idea what I want to do now. But my typical laundry room, I put like the laundry day stuff. I think this is a great laundry room accessory. It goes really well with, any laundry room, obviously, because it's a laundry day. And decorations were sparse in this build. I realized when I was editing the video before I did the voiceover for it. That is kind of sparse on decorations, which again is another Sims thing that kind of I prefer to do that because I like houses that are not as lived in, because I like to, when I play, I want to do my own thing with them. I don't want to live in your accessories that you've chosen. Like if you wanted this room to be, teen boys room, but in reality I'm playing Sim that has two girls. I can change wallpapers, but I don't really want a lot of like clutter that I didn't have to kind of remove one by one to fix the issue. So in my builds, I try not to do that as much. And obviously, since I'm an animal lover, I feel like you gotta have a pet in life. They have a pet, and pets always take up more rooms in The Sims. And this corner was a real pain. I don't know what I would have done differently in this corner, but something did need to change that corner, because why would you have that? I have no idea. But, again, I know I'm hating on my build a lot, which probably doesn't make sense with the whole build, the whole video. But I do really like it. Like I really did like the final product of the build. I do think it has my style almost of building, if that's kind of weird to say at this point, probably. That I might have a style in building of how I like design and edit, or not edit, but and decorate and those things. I do think I'm starting to get my style though, to recognize what it is. And so yeah, we're just kind of doing the bathroom right now. Again, the bathroom I did imagine was updated probably around the same time that the kitchen was, so you know that's why it's more newer looking of a bathroom. I don't know why it does, like going back to earlier, it does seem like the two things that people update the most are bathrooms and kitchens. You might repaint a wall, I guess, on like a bedroom, but generally I feel like if you update, you just update the bathrooms and the kitchens. This is a walk-in closet. I didn't know what to do with this room. In the real build, that's actually a utility closet. So like where the power is and all that type of stuff. Again, why? I mean, that's kind of, I mean, a closet in itself in The Sims is not like a great reason to have a room. Like closets aren't really useful rooms in The Sims, but you know, a utility closet's even worse because literally there'd just be nothing you can use. At least here you can, that's where you go and you can have the dressers and stuff, and then the walk-in closet. Yeah, so we are going around now, still doing the classic putting stuff up. I do decorate a little bit. I mean, you know, not a monster. I put some decorations up, just not a lot. Like I said, I don't use a lot of clutter items. In some of my builds though, I do put family portraits, like of the families that I imagine playing in there. I feel like those are easy to remove. Kind of goes against what I just said. If I don't have a family I envision being in there, if you look in some of my builds that do have those pictures, you might see my own sim being on the wall, like in the pictures, and he's always posing. Like I'll bring my own sim to play test the build, and then I'll take the pictures with him and put those pictures on the wall randomly, like in the Moschino picture frame, just because I think it's really funny, and I think it's like an homage to me. You know, I did build the house. I get some credit with my pictures on your wall. But yeah, so this is the second bathroom. Like I said, they kind of share this. One's the guest bathroom / the two kids' bedrooms. I imagined a boy and a girl. I know I said I don't like going crazy with clutter, which I don't, but I do, you know, switch up the wallpapers, so it could be a boy and a girl. Because I'm actually gonna go back into a lot of my builds that I've already created and the ones I'm creating now, and for every build I'm gonna build a Sims or sim that I think would fit in my builds that I'm building. And I don't know if it'll eventually be a save file. I'm not gonna say there's like gonna be a Kieran save file out there. That's way down the line. I mean, this is probably a long project. I'm not gonna like power through just to do the save file thing. But I think eventually, you know, it'll lead into me releasing a save file that I'll have my builds in it with, you know, Sims that I've put in there to each build, because that's how I viewed them. Again, just a couple posters, but nothing serious. I think the most decorated rooms, which is so ironic that I was just hating on this. Not hating, I was just, you know, saying how I prefer to do most of my builds are very minimal. But, you know, that the two most decorated rooms probably are the kids' bedrooms. And so, yeah, like I said, these are at least real easy to take down, the decorations wise. So if you don't like them, if you want to change rooms, or you just want to be guest bedrooms, or you don't want to have any kids and you just want to be random rooms, you totally could, and it really won't be hard for you to do that, because there aren't like massive clutter that are like put one each, you know, when you size things down and move it up. I didn't do any of that there. And then here, like I said, this is, oh, we're still going for the kids' room. I don't know why I put that in his room, and then I thought I wouldn't use that. I've been looking to use that piece I put down in a lot of builds. I didn't realize I did use that actually in this one. It doesn't make sense. It looks like a schoolhouse build, because it has like a place where you put like folders or papers or something, almost like a turn-in box back in the day. So I don't know why I did put that in his room, but it's in his room. Obviously in the kitchen I do clutter it up. You know, I enjoy some good kitchen clutter. I imagine, again, going like showroom style houses. So this is where we have pretty much finished most of the build with main furniture wise. We're just going through and decorating some things and kind of putting the decorations on the wall. We might change up a couple things here and there. I realized it's actually not this build that I kind of got bored off camera and started doing things off camera that made the build a lot better. It's the next build that's going to happen with, and you'll see if you watch that build what I mean, because like the house is almost, I would say at least 2 times, like almost exponentially better than what I was recording it with. But yeah, I really do like this kitchen. I feel like I haven't said that yet, that I really do like this kitchen. It's such a nice kitchen. That Jungle Adventure counters and the flooring, which isn't in the kitchen, but the general Jungle Adventures counters are so nice, and they work so well with a lot of different wallpapers and whatnot, especially to create different type of build, because you wouldn't think that Jungle Adventure would be like a modern counter build, but really those counters are pretty modern. Yeah, and so here I'm just, again, I don't know what at this time I didn't really imagine anyone being in this build, but I guess maybe it's like a young family who lives, like a farming family, lives out in the country. And so I'm just kind of, that's what I did, obviously, with having the kids' bedrooms and whatnot. So, I gave them, obviously, they have a pool, they have a basketball court in the back, and then the garden. So that's where we're going to end the build. We're about to go to the pictures, the screenshots. So hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the build. There are the screenshots. Enjoy the build. And hope you download on my gallery. My origin ID is below. Fly high, everybody. Have a great one. Bye.